was asked to answer 7 questions about why I read fanfiction by a person that I greatly admire. So here goes. Question 1. What fanfictions do you read? Fandom sites, where do you read them from? Mainly Tumblr and fanfiction.net. And I read a lot of Hermione fanfiction. For those of you who don't know, that's from the Harry Potter fandom with Draco Malfoy and Hermione Granger. I don't think Hermione should have ended up with Ron. That's just my opinion. Number 2. How much do you read fanfictions? Time, how often? I read a lot of fanfictions, and I read it a lot. It takes up a lot of my time, but I wouldn't say too much to where it was a distraction. Wow, my glasses are really reflective. I'm so sorry. I can't give you an on average, but I'll try. Probably somewhere around 3 to 5 hours a day. In between, like it's not one long sitting. It's just in between when I have snippets of time. Oh, going back to question 1, I read a lot of K-pop fanfiction. Yes, they are about real people. Yes, I have written it. No, I am not ashamed. Number 3, why do I read fanfictions? And do I prefer reading it over published books? No, I don't prefer it over published books because published books, they're not about stories that have already been done or real people in general. Well, some published books are, but I read a lot of fiction anyway. But why do I read fanfiction? Because I get to immerse myself into that world just a bit more, like with the Harry Potter fandom, for instance. I cried for a week straight when I turned 11 when I didn't get my Hogwarts letter. Fanfiction helps me immerse myself into that world just a bit further after the last book ended, after the last movie ended. I'm a total Harry Potter fangirl. That's why I read it. So I can continue on with the great world that the beautiful JK has written. And it's also kind of like a stepping stone because I want to create my own original works one day. And I want to create something that's going to last, that is going to have a huge following like Harry Potter does. JK and the Harry Potter series are kind of my inspiration, somewhat. And as for the K-pop fanfictions that I read, those idols are really good looking. And I like to imagine myself with some of my favorites. And people write those. People write the insert idol name here in reader. I am reader. Idol name is I want to marry them. No, not really. They will never meet them. They're off in their own world. But I can fantasize, right? Fanfiction's about fantasizing. What makes a good fanfiction? It's number 4. You have to have an interesting plot. You can't just use the plot that's already there or make a character that inserts himself too much into this world and takes it over. Good grammar and spelling. I mean, clearly I speak English. English is my first language. And if I see a fanfiction in English that has terrible grammar, terrible spelling, sentence structure is all wrong, repetitive language, it just kind of turns me off and I'll be like, I can't finish this. If your first language is not English, and you're writing fanfiction in English, and I think it's amazing, kudos to you. Like, really. That's very rare. And I see so many people apologize for, like, English is not my first language, I'm so sorry. Do not be sorry. Do not. I mean, you're doing great. You are doing great. Interesting storylines. Like, separate storylines. Don't just focus on one character. Do, like, a span of them. That's just the fanfiction that I like. Number 5. Are there any fics that you like? How did it affect you? Has it taught you anything? Well, the person who asked me to do this has written a fanfiction about a popular K-pop group called BTS, or Bangtan Sonyeondan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly at all. She wrote one called Crave, part of her Dark and Wild series. That is an excellent fanfiction. One of the best that I have ever read. And I write fanfiction, but I also think all my writing's crap, so there's that. How did it affect me? My emotions were all over the place. I mean, I literally could not tell you or explain in any sort of words what I was feeling while reading this. How do I get rid of this glare? While I was reading this fanfiction. Has it taught me anything? No, I can't say that it has, but it has brought me a great amount of joy in reading, and the continuation tease. Tease. There's a couple of Harry Potter fanfictions that I like. One was a Twilight Harry Potter crossover. It sounds weird. It was really well written. It was cool. It didn't teach me anything either, but it was cool. And it affected me with, why wasn't this real? That was my first question. It should have been real. Because it had Draco and Hermione together, but hey. Number 6. Any fanfiction authors do you look up to? Do they influence, inspire you? How? Well, as I mentioned, the author of Crave. I greatly admire her and everything that she does. I look on her blog on Tumblr all the time, and so many different things are going on. And her use of words, the way she words things, it's really awe-inspiring, and that's something that I would like to do one day. Have to be awe-inspired by my writings. So I look up to her a lot. I'm a little afraid to ask her for like writing advice or to read something I've written. I did that once, and I was freaking out the entire time. She does influence and inspire me a lot. Because she's so supportive and encouraging of anyone who asks her these types of questions. Thanks, Mom. You got in my shot.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
She forgot. While I'm sitting here talking to you about fan fiction.
I'm sorry.
Where was I? Influence and inspiration. She is a huge inspiration. I would like to aspire to be more like her. So warm-hearted and open with her emotions. Number 7. Do you think fanfictions helped in shaping who I am today? Yes. Yes, they have. They have helped me realize that. They have helped me realize my inner fangirl and bring her out and show her, hey, everyone, this is me. This is what I do. Because I can tell people that I read and write fan fiction. And I feel no shame. None. Because where I live, that's really looked down upon or considered weird it is considered really weird, and I'm not really sure why. If they like something, why wouldn't they want to immerse themselves more into the fandom that they're in? Whether it be Harry Potter, Sherlock, Doctor Who, Supernatural, K-pop, so many others. So many others have a huge following, but a lot of those followings are very afraid to admit to what they do to continue with themselves in this fandom. But I'm not, because a lot of the... Because I'll read a lot of OC, which is own character, and main character, or whoever. And the way that these OCs are written is really encouraging. A lot of the authors, again, like the author of Crave, they're really encouraging in themselves. They project such self-confidence that I wish that I had. Sorry. Words kind of escaped me for a second. They have shaped me and who I am. Exactly how, I couldn't tell you. You just had to have seen me before I started reading fan fiction. Oh my goodness, this question is actually really hard. It's a definite yes. It's the explanation. Wait, do I have to explain it? Unless you explain it all. Unless. No wonder this is so long. Sorry. Yeah, that's that. That's why. That is basically my fanfiction opinions in a semi-long nutshell. Okay.